Hello, I'm Daniel Ishaku with Toko Academy, and welcome to our YouTube channel where we share tips about finance, about career, and technology in general. Today, we are starting a series called Unlocking Financial Success, and we are focusing on personal finance. And I'm so excited to share so much value with you through this series we are starting today. So please stay tuned and let's get right to it. By the way, if you're new to this YouTube channel, please do well to press the subscribe button and also click on the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content in this channel. This is our first episode on unlocking financial success. Now, finance is a key instrument and a key part of every one of our lives. And so it is key and very important for all of us to learn how to deal and manage our finances. As somebody said, it's not about making lots of money, but it's also about knowing and learning how to manage money. Money is very important, and so it is good for us to take our time and learn how to manage it. Right? Personal finance is basically the process of managing and planning your income, your spending, and then your savings and investments. Okay, so we'll take a couple of minutes to understand what is personal finance, first of all, and then how we as individuals can be prudent with our personal finances. All right, so the first thing I want to mention is that financial success is first about your thinking. It's about your behavior towards money. Now, a lot of people have very unhealthy habits about money, and that is why you feel like you have no or little control over your finances. You must understand that there are certain habits that you'd have to learn, healthy habits that you'd have to learn in order for you to achieve financial freedom or financial success. And one of the first things to note is that your thinking can affect your finances. It can affect and will determine whether or not you end up being a successful individual or a failure in the context of your finances. So the first question is, how do I manage my finances? How do I take care of my personal finance in such a way that I am sure I will achieve financial freedom or financial success? You don't want to end up a retired person that has nothing to show, for the work that you've put in through all the years of your life. You don't want to end up, having nothing when you're supposed to be enjoying the fruits of your labor. So the first principle is this: learn to track your finances. Tracking your finances is super important and will ensure that you are aware, first of all, of where your money is going to. And that is very important because, like they say, data is king. Okay, we need to live life with data-driven decisions. It is very important for you to understand how your money comes in and where it goes to. And in doing so, you'll be able to make the right adjustment. That is very important in ensuring that you end up having financial freedom or financial success. Number two is to learn to budget. Okay, budgeting is super important and is not only for big organizations and corporations. We need to understand that when we budget, we allocate funds to the appropriate places and the appropriate items that require those funds in our life. For example, in my life, I make sure that whenever I receive my salary and I get income from any other side thing that I do, side businesses or other side freelance jobs that I do, I make sure that those monies, when I get them, they are allocated to specific things. Some are for savings, some are for investments, and some are for giving, and so on and so forth. There are quite some important things to take note of when you're creating a budget. Of course, we all have monthly recurring expenses, okay? Those are expenses like food, like your transportation to your office, things like your electricity bills, and even things like your phone bills, the internet. I mean, you need data to watch a video like this on YouTube. So these are expenses that come every single month, and for some of them every week or every day. And so you need to make or allocate funds for such. Now, there are tons of advice on how to budget your finance. And one thing I must make note of here is that personal finance is personal. Okay, so even in creating a budget, there is no a one size fits all in the way you plan your finances. You must understand that your finance is personal. It is unique to your personality, the factors that affect your spending and your income. And so you must take note of all of these things when making a budget. So we have the 50-30-20 rule, and that's basically converting your entire income into 100%. And then the general idea is to invest about 50% of your income every month into recurring expenses, things like your house rent, your bills, your food, your feeding, transportation, etc., etc. Now the 30% are for wants, and it depends on the things that wants are for you. Like I said, personal finances, personal. So maybe I want to purchase a new phone, or maybe I need to upgrade my wardrobe, or maybe there are a couple of things I want to buy, like go out with friends and get a couple of things outside, or get some snacks, and so on and so forth. These are things that you might want to consider putting in this category. Now the last category is a 20%, and the 20% category basically has to do with debts and savings, and then investments. So it is advised that generally you take about 10% of that 20%, you use that for savings, okay? Which means 10% of your overall income is saved, okay, every single month. And then another 10% is used to take care of debts. Very important. Debts come number one. Before savings, before investment, take care of your debt. Pay your debt. If you have loans that are pending every month, ensure you take care of that first of all. And then if you've taken money from anyone, a friend, a family, loved one, please make it a duty. Take responsibility for your loans. Pay them back on time. Even if it means breaking that into, 3 payments or 3 installments, or or more. But make sure you put debts as priority and take care of them. And then lastly will be investment. There are a lot of information and knowledge about investments, but I'll tell you a very simple thing. Look for what works, okay? What works for you. Do you have a business you are already running right now? You have, apart from your corporate or your office job, you do something by the side and it seems to yield some kind of fruit every month? Then I'll advise you to put in more funds into that business every month and multiply the leverage, okay? If you get about 500 naira per week on that business with just a capital of 5,000 naira, how about making that capital 10,000 or 15,000 or more? That means 500 naira profit could become 1,000, 1,500, and so much more. So it is key to invest in what works, not just what somebody else is doing. Find what works, do your due diligence, research, and then make your investment, make that decision to invest. And of course, you have to learn that it is important to be diligent as you invest. Take care of that business like a baby and treat it right. Rule number 3 is this: keep to your budget. Yes, you heard me right. Keep to your budget. Now, I know a lot of people who create beautiful budget. They can break down their income down to the last kobo. Okay, they allocate funds for everything. They take, proper inventory of their lives and what they spend every month because they are tracking their finances. But then after all this 1 to 2 days job, they throw it away. No, we must keep to our budget, and that's why I'm putting that here as a rule in itself, that it is important to keep to your budget. If possible, find an accountability partner. If you're married, your wife or your husband could be the best person to do that with. Otherwise, if you're single, you could talk to a friend, you could find somebody you trust and you can share your financial information with, and be accountable. Let them keep you accountable, ask you questions, or if possible, create meetings once a month, once a week, where you share, updates about your finances with that person, and then, make the necessary adjustments. The next rule is grow your income and multiply your streams. Okay, now this sounds cliche, I know, but then a lot of people don't do anything about that. You are living solely on a 100k salary, a 30k salary. That is not wise. Do not depend only on one source of income. What if something happens to your job? Or if you're depending only on your business? What if your business, if something happens, God forbid, fire outbreak or whatever, so you must learn to have multiple streams of income into your life, and that way you are able to maintain some sort of balance. You're not overworking yourself at work because you think, oh, if I lose this job, that's it for me. No, I'm not saying we should have multiple streams of income so we can belittle or not put in our best in our work. No, but I'm saying that it is good for your mental well-being, it is good for your mind that you have multiple streams of income. Now, you don't have to think too far. Some of us work 9 to 5 jobs, and I understand that that can be very, very tasking. And for some people like myself, you might still need to work after 5 p.m., maybe even back at home, check emails and do a couple of things, get documents together, a presentation or a report. It could be thousands of different things. But you could look for things that are a bit passive or things that don't require you to put in so much physical time, maybe long hours of work into it, that could give you 10K, 5K per week, and so on. That is enough. 5K per week is about 20K every month. That can take care of your transportation or your internet bills or something, or your giving for that month. So let's look around you, look at your work. And I always tell my friends this, that okay, you don't have to start a new business to actually grow your income. Where you're working with a set of skills, okay? That skill can be monetized. That knowledge you have can be monetized. And so you don't have to do so much. You can simply just take what you know, go on YouTube, go on TikTok, do a video like this, or organize a weekend class for some people who might need that same skill set that you have, and charge them a small amount of money. And then you have this event happening maybe quarterly or biannually, your choice. But then that is one way you could multiply your stream of income without doing so much. All right, so the next rule is train and learn. Learning is important. Learning is an unending process. All of us need to continuously learn about finances, about our jobs, and improve on our skills. Okay, now you are not paid for your hard work. You are paid for the value that you bring into the work. Many people think that when you put in so much energy and time and all of that into the work, you're supposed to be promoted, you're supposed to be given a raise. No, my friend, it doesn't work like that. Companies, organizations are driven by values. The value you bring to that company determines how much they pay you. Oh, I give so much to that company, and yet they don't give me anything more than what they've been giving me for the past 5 years. Well, it's because you've been giving them quite the same value. Until you train, until you improve, until you develop your skill set, you don't have any right to claim an increment in your salary. Okay, so if your job has been the same in the past 5 years, how about going for a professional training? How about going for a master's degree or even for a PhD? There are part-time PhD programs you could take on that could take 5, 6, 7 years. And while you are accumulating lots of years of experience in your work, you're also adding value to yourself. That will force your employer to do something about your status, about your payment. Go get trained, go and learn, take online courses and add so much value to yourself. Or maybe you're doing business, go get trained, learn to deal with finances, your corporate or business finance, learn on how to expand your marketing, to reach out to more people, try social media. And if you're doing that, try paid advertising. There's always something you could add to what you already have. And as you do that, you are sure to unlock financial success. The last but not the least, it is honoring relationships. Okay, it is key to having a financially free life. A huge part of your finances comes from just giving, from gifts from people who just want to bless you, just want to give you gifts, just alms giving and so on. So please value your relationships, keep a good network. If you're like me who has skill sets that you offer as a freelance service, that could be your key to $1 million project. You never might know. That one person you're keeping in touch with, that one relationship you're honoring and you are preserving and doing all your best to ensure that you preserve it. Of course, not at the expense of your well-being and your mental health, but then giving your best. Invest in relationships. Learn to give to people and it will surely come back to you. Thank you so much for joining us in this first episode of our finance series titled Unlocking Financial Success. So I'll see you in the next episode. Do well to please subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Click the bell icon for notification. But you know what? Do us one huge favor. Share this video. Share it. If you've learned anything useful in this video, please share it. And thank you so much. Until next time. Bye for now.